Hey, this is Newark, though. But only the strong survive, baby. If you weak, you ain't gonna last out here. And that's real.
My name is Terrence Ruane, and I am the tree farm manager with the Greater Newark Conservancy. I'm from Bayonne, New Jersey. I've worked for various federal land management agencies, including U.S. Fish and Wildlife, Bureau of Land Management, and the U.S. Forest Service as a trail crew foreman, wilderness ranger, and firefighter. I've always worked in conservation. I've never really done anything else. The reason I got this job was because I was laid off. So I couldn't find work when the economy crashed. I couldn't find anything. Even government, trail work, I couldn't find that. And if I can't find a job, nobody else can. So I found this job online, read about it, and sort of kind of fell in love with it. I've always wanted to do something like this.
Hi, I'm Robin Doherty, Executive Director, Greater Newark Conservancy. Greater Newark Conservancy is located in the Central Ward of Newark, 32 Prince Street, Newark, New Jersey. The Conservancy's mission is to promote environmental stewardship, to improve the quality of life in New Jersey's urban community. The Conservancy's been in existence since 1987, and it started off primarily as an urban greening group. About 10 years ago, we built what we call our Outdoor Learning Center, which is a series of thematic gardens. We also have a greenhouse that is designed to teach environmental education to urban audiences. And we have a brand new job, which is always hard to fill because you're defining what the position looks like.
As far as I can tell, there's never been a program like this anywhere.
Terrence has been a terrific addition. He has a lot of expertise in building tree farms and all of the skills that we're hoping to impart to our ex-offenders and our at-risk youth.
So my responsibilities are essentially to start this program and kind of get it moving. This program just started right before the winter in September, and we already planted, 50 to 100 trees, I would say. And our program sort of runs the gamut of kind of tree sizes. We run from very immature, very small trees, or whips as we like to call them. These are our trees, some of our trees over here, to big old giant white oaks that are 100 years old. We're only going to plant native trees that are native not only to New Jersey, but this section of New Jersey. Even by the end of the month, I'll probably have in excess between 25 and 103,000 immature trees. There's some black birch in here. There's also some balsam fir. So you can't really tell because they're really small, so it takes kind of a trained eye to check it out. Red buds, red oaks, they're red maples. Trees that were here, since, or before Newark kind of took on its industrial period and turned into what it is now. And the other thing is that there's just so much opportunity here in Newark for tree planting and tree care. I feel like Newark could become, eventually a great city for tree canopy cover. We have a tree farm on the intersection of 15th Avenue and 16th Street. Here we're up at, I call it the 15th Avenue Orchard. This here is one of the worst parts in Newark. It's known as the number blocks or the South Streets. Basically what we did here is we built all these boxes, we built this fence, we remulched this vacant lot and turned it into this. Right now we have a whole bunch of apple trees, pear trees, peach trees, and cherry trees. See them right here. Eventually, kind of once these trees grow for 5 years or so, we want to incorporate that fruit into GNC's farm stand program, where we take organically managed fruits and vegetables that we grow here in Newark, and we'll be able to sell this fruit to people in the community who need it for a pretty cheap rate. And right now the guys are just cleaning it up. We're gonna go ahead and care for these trees. It's springtime. Things are getting real busy for us. So we're gonna go ahead and mulch these trees in, get them watered, get it fertilized, and then hopefully they'll produce a little bit of fruit this year. Right now my crew is between 12 and 15 weeks right now, so I run a lot of folks through it. But right now we're currently employing Laquan, Toyan, Deshaun, and Taji.
Check me out.
You already know.
This is what we do out here.
These guys, they are all Newark residents, lifelong Newark residents for the most part.
Growing up in Newark is hard. It's crazy. But you say earlier?
Yeah, it's rough, man. I'm saying growing up in Newark, it's rough. Only strong survive out here.
Depending on who you talk to, Newark is in the top 25, I'd say, as the most dangerous cities in the country.
I mean, you weak, you is not gonna make it.
We have had vehicles stolen, materials stolen, and just kind of vandalism. I've even had some of my trees ripped out or out of the ground and thrown across the street. Newark can be a rough town, but so can any major city.
This city is beautiful. You know, it's all what you make it.
I'm pretty lucky. A lot of the guys that I get from our Clean and Green program are generally really good people who were caught in bad situations. Generally, most of them were all involved in the drug trade. They've all done, you know, a good amount of time in prison.
Why it's so bad? Because you're locked up, you're away from your family. Somebody got to tell you when to eat, when to sleep, when to go to the bathroom. You know what I mean? When to watch TV. You know what I mean? You locked up, you're around a bunch of men all day, 24 hours.
They don't like where they were headed, and they realize that it's a bad road, and they're looking to change their lives around.
Everybody make mistakes in their life. You know what I mean? We was young, a lot of us was young, coming up, you know, you got parents, your parents getting high, like, you know what I mean?
Guys who, you know, where you're in scenarios where it's either I'm gonna stand on this corner and sling dope, or I'm not gonna eat tonight.
You don't know where your next meal coming from. You can't get it, you be too young, you can't get a job, so what's the next best thing to do? You go get you a pack and sell drugs, you know what I mean, to feed yourself. Like, you know, ain't what you want to do, but sometimes you be put in positions where that's what you gotta do.
And those are the kind of decisions that my guys are making.
We was just trying to do everything everybody else do. Live, feed your family, and survive.
When you compare working in a town like Newark and working in, you know, wild and remote areas in the United States, they both present challenges. The fact that a lot of my labor pool is unskilled, so I have to teach them, you know, how to work and how to use tools, and kind of a lot of times how to have a work ethic.
Once you're a convicted felon, you've been to prison, you know, you got that on your jacket, so when you go fill out for jobs and you put that down, a lot of people don't want to hire you.
A lot of them have never really had gainful employment legally.
Just because we got in trouble, you know, we have been in jail, and that don't make us bad people. All we ask for is a chance and an opportunity, so we won't have to go back and do the same thing that got us in jail, got us in trouble the first time.
So what we do is we give these gentlemen a good foundation to build careers upon.
GNC, they give you an opportunity, man, that nobody else won't give you.
I decide to kind of make everything a teachable moment.
The tree farm is like, you know, you planting trees around the city to make it look good.
Root system on this is pretty small, but I think it'll work anyway. You want to plant a little bit above, it's called the bowl. You want to plant a little bit above the bowl here. And make sure you got good coverage with your roots.
We got a couple sites that we go clean up, pick up the trash. You know, we water the plants, plant trees. That's what our day consists of.
I teach chainsaw felling, which is how to cut down a tree with a chainsaw. We go over maintenance and repair and how to care for it for weeks, you know, every day, and how to use it safely. We're in Weequahic Park in Newark, New Jersey. We just cut this tree here. It had dry rot, means the heartwood, the center of the tree is rotten. Trees can be dangerous. Problem is if a big windstorm's coming and people are playing paddleball, somebody can get killed. So we killed the tree. We'll plant probably 2 or 3 in its place. Or even I do things, I teach them how to write a personal budget. I teach them how to write cover letters and resumes and work on job readiness skills.
Help us up with jobs, give us training, you know what I mean? Become productive citizens in this community.
And anything from like coming to work on time, to dressing professionally, to speaking professionally. You know, little things like that kind of add up. And now they come out, they can tell you the kind of tree they are, they can tell you if it has diseases, tell you if it was planted wrong, tell you how to maintain it and prune it.
But we putting this water in this bag, so you know, like the sun and the water evaporate. So what it do when you put in this bag got little tiny holes at the bottom, and it drips out slowly to get the trees the nice water and everything they need to grow.
So I think that's what sets us apart from a lot of other programs.
We playing a major part. We play a major part.
You know, we've been talking, and I've read some studies, but my guys are also convinced that the more open, beautified space you have in blighted areas, I think it has a direct correlation on a reduction in violent crime. You know, like I said, this is one of the worst parts of Newark. This is a really bad area. And not all of Newark is like this. There are some really great parts of Newark, don't get me wrong. But then that's why we don't work there, because we don't have to. So the more we can get out there and teach people about how, you know, we're not, you know, trying to ruin your day or get you in trouble, you know, by being in your neighborhood. We're just there to grow food and vegetables and trees and to hopefully clean your air and give you a really cool place to hang out. One thing that's really interesting about this site is the fact that, you know, the area is so violent, this neighborhood, and people sort of come here and help us clean it up. You know, it's one of the cleanest lots we have. The community in the city of Newark is beyond pumped to have this program. Guys who are hanging out on the corners, they are always looking out for us here. You know, they don't let nobody hang out in here that's not supposed to be here. I've actually seen some people plant trees here in the back. I had to kind of talk to them about that, but
GNC, man, they definitely is playing a major part in Newark right now, man, for real. You look around, they got Newark looking good.
People are constantly coming up to us when we're in the field and complimenting not only how we're rebuilding these vacant lots into beautiful areas.
This we just do. Good local services right here, tree farm. Oh, tree farm. Okay.
But also kind of how professional my guys are and how hard they work.
It's a tree farm. It's an orchard.
Okay.
It happens all the time.
What kind of trees are there?
Apple, peach.
So
pear.
the community's very happy to have us, and it's really great that people are so involved.
I think the biggest area of expansion in the future for the Conservancy is in growing food.
Newark's a food desert, so people don't necessarily have access to fresh fruits and vegetables.
Right now we're in the process of building a 2.5-acre farm.
And what we're going to do there is we're going to have about an acre or so of organically managed fruit trees. And then the other half of the field is going to be organically managed vegetable farm.
So we're very, very interested in providing fresh, locally grown, affordable food for the community and having the community learn to grow their own food, which has always been part of our mission.
It's going to have a lot of elements to it. There's going to be an area for children, kind of an interpretive area. There's going to be a native plants area. And Hawthorne Avenue is also going to have an educational component where we're going to have a farm to school program where we're growing vegetables right across the street from Hawthorne Avenue School. And they're going to be able to either take those vegetables home or serve them in the school, or you know, we're kind of have to work out the kinks on that program. And there's also one of the really good things is they're going to be a giant half-acre for community gardens. So I think it's $10 a year. You can come and you can have your own 4x8 box of vegetables that you can grow yourself. This is going to take a while to do, but you know, this is our goal.
We have a website, citybloom.org. We welcome volunteers. We would never be able to achieve what we have in the 25 years without volunteers. So we're always looking for people to come in and be part of our urban greening team, our urban farming team, work with our high school youth, work in our ex-offender program, anywhere people feel they have an interest or an expertise.
A good program helping the residents of the city of Newark, making the city of Newark look good. You know, it's a non-profit organization, and I would think that we need people to donate so we could get this thing better, even better and bigger and stronger, because it's helping the community.
There are, like I said, a whole lot of obstacles, whether you're dealing with, you know, politics or crime or vandalism, and I think a lot of people would give up. A lot of people have come up to me and say like why would you do this? this, you can't, this is not going to go anywhere. We're not changing anything. And I think they're wrong. We're not going to solve every problem in the city of Newark, but we're definitely going to try to help as much as possible. Yeah, I'll never give up. It can be very frustrating, but we won't quit.